Yeah, this one time we were stocking some stuff over by the castle, and my back was facing the door, so my coworker was facing the door. I just looked up, and we were like picking up boxes. He froze, and he like his mouth opened up, and he looked so scared, and I was like, "What?" And he said, "The door." And the room that we were in behind me opened by itself, and we both freaked out.
Hey guys,
it's Cristal
and Cris. We are back at Universal, but you know how we do. This is another Halloween Horror Nights update, but we do things a little bit different around here, right?
I'm so excited for this video.
Yes, this is gonna be our last Halloween Horror Nights update because the next time you see us here, it's gonna be for Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights 2021.
Can you believe that?
I'm so excited.
I'm so
grateful. It's happening. Yes. We promise after this video, you guys will not see Universal the same ever again.
We haven't.
Because we're here to ask all the important questions.
That's right.
So if you're not already following us, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter,
yes.
And don't forget to subscribe. Give this video a big thumbs up. We love Halloween. Everything spooky, we're all about it.
This is our season, baby.
Yes, it's our season.
Is coming up, you guys. Make sure you guys stay tuned and follow us everywhere.
Oh yeah. So the most important question is not just the updates. Is Universal Studios actually haunted?
Oh my God.
We've heard the ghost stories, and we're gonna tell you them. Yes.
We've heard
a lot of stuff.
Couple of things.
But we did our research, and we're gonna tell you what really happens here at Universal Studios. You ready?
I feel like you deserve to know, babe.
You guys have to know.
You guys deserve to know the truth.
Let's go. You guys ready? You ready?
Let's go.
Let's do this. Excited for Halloween Horror Nights?
Oh boy, let me tell you something. If I was any more excited, my tongue would beat my brain out. You know what I mean? That's how jazzed up I am.
Oh.
You know, I'm already getting all soupy just thinking about it. More like beetle soup than anything else. Yeah,
can't wait,
baby.
Beetlejuice. We'll see
Hey,
you
me either. All right, make my millennium. Come
see
see
you.
us at Halloween Horror Night.
So here's a great view of the lower lot, and behind the mummy, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre maze. Again,
I have a story with that
ooh,
movie.
tell us, what is it?
Growing up, it was like not my favorite movie. I remember that was one of the first scary movies that I went to see actually in theaters. And after that, I was traumatized. Let's just keep it as that.
If you guys did check out our first Horror Nights update video, we actually saw some flashing lights. Remember that? It looked like a car. The headlights of a car that was shining right in that back corner there. That might be the end of the maze. Check that video if you haven't seen it. And also a heads up, we'll mention this later, but I can see it from here. Do you see the top of the house in the front?
Yeah.
You see the facade? The facade in the front looks like a White House.
It looks like a White House.
And we have to mention a little bit more about that once we get down there. So we're actually starting in the lower lot. One of the things we noticed was the lighting rigs that they're installing on top of the mummy building. At this point, we gotta assume it's all Halloween Horror Nights related. So we've been coming to Universal for so long that we always make friends, or we just like having conversations with the team members.
Yeah, when we're like buying stuff,
Yeah.
checking out, we always have like long conversations with the team members.
And we've heard the ghost stories. I don't know how we even got to that topic.
I know.
But we've talked to so many team members over the years, and they've told us like, yo, weird stuff happens here. I've seen this, that's happened to me, and we're like, what? There's some haunted history here at Universal. So after doing a lot of digging, like, yo, we realized there is actually a lot of haunted history. So like one of the very first ghost stories, did you guys know when they first opened the mummy, there were reports that people in the first row would actually see a little boy dressed in old clothes on the tracks. That's pretty scary. And of course Universal has to investigate, right? So they would actually close it down for a bit and investigate, make sure no one was on the ride, and they wouldn't find anything. That's pretty creepy if you ask me. Cristal and I love sitting in the first row, so every time we hop on the first row of the mummy, I don't know if I want to see what's gonna be in front of us. That's a little creepy. And the crazy part is the little boy that haunted the mummy, they hadn't seen him for a while. But after that, there was reports that he was haunting the studio scoop section. And this is actually one of the stories that the team members have told us in the past, that they would see a little boy, weird stuff would happen in the freezer with the ice cream. If you're getting studio scoop ice cream, it might be haunted, I'm just saying. All right guys, so here we are next to Transformers. As you guys know, this would be the walkway into the back lot, when they actually would have mazes in the back lot. For the past months, there hasn't been any sign of back lot mazes.
Yeah,
no construction or nothing. But we have news, breaking news, confirmed as of this day, as of right now. Universal Studios Hollywood did announce they're bringing back the Terror Tram. What does that mean? I don't know. We'll get into that later. Their Terror Tram has taking you to the back lot, not the metro sets. This is the area to get into the metro sets.
Yeah.
But what we do know, the confirmed maze is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Right? So babe, you said the Texas Chainsaw Massacre would freak you out when you were younger.
It
Why?
always did.
Why?
Because I used to live like in the south, and it's like in the middle of nowhere, so like.
And that's where Leatherface does all of his killing.
So it would always creep me out because I would like look outside my window, and we used to have like a
nothing.
Yeah, like just like in the movies, so it would always creep me out.
That's a pretty good reason to be scared. But yes, guys, so we're assuming that we're gonna be able to walk through here because we have to get into the front of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is gonna be right down this walkway. Again, if you're not following us on Instagram and Twitter, you missed out because someone sent us the Texas Chainsaw Massacre facade.
And thank you to you.
Yes, what it looks like, and it looks incredible. I'm so excited. It looks so good. From the top, when you're coming down to the lower lot, you can actually see the tip of the roof, which is white.
It looks too realistic to me.
It does.
As soon as I saw it, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It looks just like in the movie.
It does. So this is the rumored Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Of course, at this point, it's confirmed that they're gonna have it.
I think that's the one that I'm gonna be nervous for, to be honest.
Oh man, I don't blame you, but I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. You think he's back there, babe?
He has to be.
Oh no.
He's waiting for us. So here we are in the lower lot, next to the Studio Cafe, Transformers, and what's currently being built for Super Nintendo World. But back then, this used to be Soundstage 28, one of the oldest sound stages ever built, one of the biggest ones as well. And there's so many awesome stories back here. One of my favorite stories, this is where they filmed the original Phantom of the Opera, which was released in 1925. Right, almost 100 years ago.
That's so crazy.
Unfortunately, they had to tear it down. They had to get rid of it, even though they petitioned to keep it as a historic landmark. They just couldn't.
They didn't want to keep it as a landmark.
Because in the 90s, they had to expand the theme park, right? So the stories are that the original actor who played the Phantom of the Opera, which is Lon Chaney, security guards, workers would see the Phantom above the catwalk. And he would walk across the catwalk, but he wouldn't make any sound. And there was a story as well that an electrician, when they were building the actual set for the Phantom of the Opera, for the soundstage, slipped and he passed away. There were reports that the lights would go on and off on inside Soundstage 28, and a lot of them thought it was the electrician.
How
crazy
is that?
That's so crazy.
I know.
But here's the crazy thing. Behind Transformers, it's Soundstage 29. And that's where we're gonna have The Exorcist, the Halloween Horror Nights maze. I remember going on that maze a few years ago. It was so good, and I'm so excited to go on that one. The Exorcist is one of my favorite movies. As a kid, that one would trip me out. Are you ready for that one?
I don't think so.
We're gonna do this together. That's okay. We're gonna do this together.
We're gonna do this together, you guys.
So they actually used a soundstage for The Exorcist. And knowing Universal, when they have a soundstage, there's so much creative work that goes into it, and there's so much they can do.
Yeah,
right?
because they have so much.
It's
more
not.
space.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a tent like all the other mazes. The entrance for Soundstage 29 is gonna be through here. That's exactly where they also had the Stranger Things maze back then,
Yeah,
a few years ago.
Here,
yeah, so we have to go through here. So we're kind of wondering, how are they gonna have a queue for it? Because they have this wall here for construction for Super Nintendo World. These are only updates, but anything could change at any moment. Did you guys know? This is actually one of our favorite stores in the entire
love
park.
this store, yeah.
Who would have thought?
It'll never be the same.
Whenever we're inside, I'm like gonna be on alert. But there are stories that the studio store here in the lower lot is haunted. Guests have been hit with stuff that flies off shelves. Although no one has actually seen a ghost. But yeah, we have to mention that. There's a lot of stories that team members have said where they actually have seen a ghost.
Yeah, they see ghosts.
They see a body, whether it's a boy or a girl or whatever. But there's also stories where they haven't actually seen a ghost, but weird stuff has been happening. Like stuff moving on its own.
What's worse?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
They're
I'm
both
like, I will be
creepy.
creeped out by both. If you come to Universal, keep
Keep an eye out. We're telling you, it's not going to be the same after this. Let's keep the ghost stories and the updates going because we have a lot to go through.
So here we are in front of the Raptor Encounter.
Yes, if you guys remember for Halloween Horror Nights, one of the exits for the maze that's behind the mummy, which is gonna be the Texas Chainsaw Massacre maze, you exit through this way, okay? One of the craziest stories that we heard,
This one is so creepy.
and that for Halloween Horror Nights, scare actors would report seeing another scare actor roaming through the maze, and he would actually scare the guests.
What?
But when they go investigate, they were like, wait, there was no one else stationed in that area.
Babe, I think that's the creepiest
What?
one because like now when we go into these scare zone and
Are
these
they
mazes,
real?
we're like, are they real?
Are they a real person?
Yeah.
The craziest thing is that the guests after the maze would be like, how'd you guys do that?
They'll be amazed by what they.
We saw a guy go through the wall. What kind of special effect are you guys using? And then the team members would be like, yeah, of course. They would brush it off because it's Universal. As a guest, you're like, you expect the best special effects from Universal, which was the conclusion for a lot of guests. Universal has the best special effects. That ghost looks so real.
Imagine being that.
Wait a
worker
second.
And you're like, what?
Was it a real ghost? So one of the more haunted areas here in the lower lot is actually the Jurassic Outfitters. As soon as you exit the Jurassic World ride, you go through the gift shop. There have been so many reports of a little girl. This is one of the areas where they've actually seen a little girl. There's so many stories where team members, they report seeing someone inside the store. They approach her because she's alone, she's a child, and the next thing you know, she disappears. One of the other crazier stories is that one of the team members reported mist, like a fog, appearing from this side right here on the exit or the entrance into the store. She heard giggles and a bunch of stuff just fell off the shelves. That's pretty freaky creepy if you ask me. So really quickly, we also want to mention for Horror Nights, they do have some of the rides open.
They do.
Like Jurassic World, The Mummy, Transformers. Those in the lower lot, those are open. And just a pro tip, if you have Platinum, you can actually use your express passes for the rides for Halloween Horror Nights. Don't ask us how it works.
Yeah.
We tried asking, and all they said was the computer kind of resets for the event, so it works. Try using your express pass.
Take advantage, you guys.
Fingers crossed, it works this year too.
I know, hopefully this year it does work too.
So again, let us reiterate, no Metro set mazes, but we are having a Terror Tram. No Toxic Tunnel. I'm gonna miss the Toxic Tunnel.
I know, but I'm so excited for the Terror Tram, babe.
Anything could
That was
change
so
at this
awesome,
point.
yeah.
It was, but at this point, we're just a few weeks away. Anything can change, you guys. This is probably one of the crazier stories, and we've confirmed, we've actually asked team members, but here we are in front of the Simpsons ride. Supposedly, according to the haunt history, especially on the 3rd floor, they see a little girl that haunts the Simpsons ride. And there's been multiple reports. A lot of team members have actually told us the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's the
crazy.
scary part, you guys, because we've heard it from like multiple people.
Yes.
It's not just one like team member.
From
It's
the
been a couple of
beginning,
them.
from the beginning of when the ride opened up, they would see a little girl run through the hallways. They would even see her on the security cam.
Yeah.
And even as recently as workers not wanting to work on the 3rd floor because they would see her from the corner of her eye. They would see a hand from the shadows. They've even seen her on the photos with people on the ride.
That's so scary.
Okay,
I wouldn't want to work on the 3rd floor either.
we already don't get on here because the express line is long. This is like one of the more popular rides, so we never usually get on it because even the express line is really long. But keep an eye out if you see a little girl. If it's not Lisa or Maggie and she wasn't there when you rode the ride, run.
Yeah, babe, I'm glad we don't like usually get on this ride.
Let's get on it right
That's
now.
okay, I'm okay with it.
No, let's get on it right
no,
now.
we don't have time, come on.
We got plenty of time. Let's go. Like we mentioned earlier, breaking news as of today, the Terror Tram is making its way back to Universal Studios Hollywood. In our opinion, they need it because the demand for mazes is really high, especially for Halloween Horror Nights. We got some footage. There are some ghost stories. Check this out. So we did get a chance to hop on the studio tour earlier today with the announcement of the Terror Tram. We just had to go in there and give you guys the updates because you guys know the Terror Tram will take you to the back area and drop you off at the maze, but we have no idea what it's going to look like this year just yet. This is the back side of Soundstage 29, which is the building right behind Transformers. We kind of spoke about it earlier, but yeah, this is where they're gonna have The Exorcist, and we can't wait to see what that looks like because it's inside of a soundstage. It's not going to be inside of a tent like all the other mazes, so that's super exciting. And we did want to mention some of the ghost stories, so check this out, guys. They actually mention this on the tour every time, and you'll pass by it, you'll see it right now, but Bungalow 5195, that used to be Alfred Hitchcock's office, and everyone knows who Alfred Hitchcock is, the master of suspense. That used to be his office, but obviously years after that became Steven Spielberg's office, you know. And the crazy thing is that Steven Spielberg kind of felt like that bungalow was haunted, and he named the ghost Alfred after Alfred Hitchcock because he thought it was him.
Famous Bungalow 5195 with that familiar silhouette.
He would hear voices and stuff in the other rooms next to him. He felt like he was being watched and stuff was being moved around. That's pretty crazy, but I mean, hey, Alfred Hitchcock lives on. You can see his silhouette right there. Make sure you look out for it every time you hop on the studio tour. So again, there's no Metro set mazes this year. It's unfortunate. We're gonna miss that area right there because the Metro sets that area is just so fun at night with the music, and they had like a scare zone. That's the way to enter the Metro set. They would normally have like 2 mazes back there, but 2 or 3 or 4 actually. But one thing we did notice is right behind that wall, you can see they're installing something. They look like lighting rigs. The crazy thing is those don't look like they're temporary lighting rigs. Those look like lighting rigs that you would have maybe for production that's going to be up for a while. You know, is a Terror Tram going to pass through there? Because remember, passing the Metro sets, there's a Universal Monsters mural, so they might want to show us that. Keep that in mind. And then passing by the Bates Motel, you can see where they lay out all the wood on the floor. So this is almost like a blueprint of, you know, the wall where the walls are going to go up. And the original Terror Tram, they drop you off not too far from here. You walk through this area at night, there's fog, there's creepy sounds, and they scare you as you walk through it. You can see all the lumber right there. You know, that's why Norman Bates hasn't been coming out, I'm assuming, because they didn't bring back they repaved it, they didn't bring back the car, and Norman Bates hasn't been back. But you can see all the lumber there. They have a lot to build. And then once you go up the hill, you can see all the lumber as well, because you go up through the hill, you walk through the side of the house, and that's another little scare area. And then you actually go through the World of the War set, which you'll see right now. Don't forget to say hi to Mother when you pass by the Psycho house. She's on the 2nd floor window. So this hasn't changed. If this stays the same, this is probably the one thing that's, you know, the highlight of the Terror Tram is you get to go through the Bates Motel area and up through the Psycho house and walk on the World of the World set. The Haunting of Hill House, I know a lot of you guys were disappointed because we all saw the facade that Orlando has, or at least what they posted, and we were expecting that, but that's not what we got. There's so many more updates still to come with this one. Stay tuned, but this is what it looks like when you're on the studio tour during the day. We'll talk about that more in a bit, but that's what it looks like when you're on the studio tour. Our biggest question is, how do we get back there? I really doubt the Terror Tram is going to bring us all the way up there because that's, you know, quite a drive from the other area. But there are areas, what we know, there are areas to get to this area from the main park. Like maybe through Waterworld, maybe this section right here. Will we be walking through here? Those are all important questions over the next few weeks. I mean, we're literally just a few weeks away. We'll find out more. Officially confirmed mazes for 2021, The Haunting of Hill House and Pandora's Box. We have to talk about those mazes. How are we going to get back there?
I know.
What are they going to look like? And then how do we get out of that area to come back to the park?
Yeah,
there's so many questions. I'm so excited. We're just a few weeks away.
Yeah.
Let's check out these mazes.
I can't wait to have all the answers.
Here we are at the Curious George parking lot. This is the best view of the mazes. Look at this. This tent, the closer you get to it, it looks freaking huge.
Really big.
This is the rumored Pandora's Box. Again, we know for sure they're having the Pandora's Box maze.
For sure, yeah.
Again, Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights is recycling a lot of old mazes. They had to put on this event last minute. I'm just grateful we're getting anything at this point.
I agree. I'm just grateful that we're going to get Halloween Horror Nights this year.
Halloween Horror Nights 2022 is about to be lit because we're going to have more time to prepare, you guys. That's all we're going to say. Halloween Horror Nights Orlando actually built that maze inside of a sound stage. They made it look incredible. And unfortunately, we did not get that. But again, this is all last minute. We'll take what we can get. We're expecting the inside to look a lot better than the outside at this point. The real question is this area haunted? Any team members out there, if you're working down there, Let us
I
know.
see a team member down there. 2 of them.
Is the Curious George parking lot haunted?
Are they real?
I
now
don't
I'm
think so.
questioning everything.
Every time we see someone, I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
are they real? Is that a ghost? Yeah. So here we are in front of one of our favorite stores, Production Central. It's actually right across the way from Hogsmeade, right?
I love this store. We always stop by every time.
Every time, because this is where you find a lot of awesome merch. Well, go check out the merch right now. But you guys, some of the stories out here is that there's a mannequin. There has been a mannequin in the past
Oh my
that
gosh.
has moved on its own.
Now I'm gonna be looking at all the mannequins.
The mannequins that they have right now don't look like they're full bodied, so I don't think we have anything to worry about, but I'm still gonna be on my toes.
I know.
But let's go see what Monsters merch they have. Again, as of right now, no official HHN21 merch, because they normally do have Monsters merch year round.
They do.
If you don't find it here inside the park, you'll find it out City Walk. But here is the Monsters merch. They have, we actually have some of these posters. Don't we, sweetie?
Yeah, we do. We actually always put them out during Halloween time. But I see some new ones. Like, look,
I do.
The Invisible Man.
We actually need the new one this year for our home.
We should let them help. You guys should help us pick our new one out. Actually, that's a great idea. We should like have them pick it out for us this year.
Yes, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We might need your help picking out a new poster, because for Halloween, for our place, we go so overboard and so crazy with our Halloween decorations.
Make
You
sure
guys have to check it out.
Check out our video from last year. It's awesome.
Again, so they've actually had this merch, this line of merch, the Monsters, Universal Monsters, for a while.
Yeah, they've had it for a while.
Since the park was closed for so long, they actually had this inside the new store, inside City Walk, right? But these have been out for a while. This line, we have these pins. We've seen these shirts before. Nothing new. This isn't official HHN21 merch. This is just Universal Monsters merch. There are rumors that we are going to have Hogsmeade open for Halloween Horror Nights, and that we might also be getting the Dark Arts show on the castle. Stay tuned for more info on that. So here we are in front of Hogwarts, the castle. And again, this is one of the conversations we've had with a team member, but she told us that a long time ago when it had first opened up, there was some weird stuff happening behind the scenes. Yes, she remembers working with another team member, and he was in shock because he saw the door behind her just slowly open up by itself.
Just open up.
I'm sure there's so many awesome stories that happen back here, but this is what we know.
Yeah. Are you glad we know them though?
Absolutely, I love Halloween. This is what I told another team member last time. I'm like, this is so crazy and cool to us, but working here, you'd probably be like, what?
Well, yes, this is like your workspace.
This is not that cool.
Imagine that, yeah.
But for us and for you guys, I'm sure it's really cool.
And don't forget, the restrooms here at Hogsmeade are haunted by Moaning Myrtle, you guys. If you don't believe me, come check it out for yourselves.
Alright, so here we are in front of the Bride of Frankenstein Lives. And we're not gonna lie, I cannot wait for the Bride of Frankenstein Lives. From the little trailer that we got, I think the best maze this year is gonna be Bride of Frankenstein Lives. If you haven't seen that trailer, you have to look it up. Universal. Damn, this facade looks so good.
It looks so awesome. As soon as we like started making out what the book was.
Yep. We're like, what is it gonna be?
Yeah.
They put the title, they have the artwork. Shout out to the team that put this together at Universal. They did such a great job. This is what it looks like at night. They have lights set up right here. There's gonna be some sort of projection. They're gonna illuminate it. It's gonna look so good. But it looks really good during the day too.
It does.
This is what it looks like during the day. And we're so impressed with it too. Again, breaking news, Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights announced they are having the Silver Screen Queens.
Yes!
What does that mean? A Noxuna Moon from The Mummy, the She-Wolf from London, and Dracula's daughter. The Silver Screen Queens is supposed to be a scare zone right here on French Street. As soon as you exit the Bride of Frankenstein Lives maze, prepare yourselves because you're gonna see a lot of stuff going on here. This is confirmed our first scare zone. I wonder what other scare zones they're gonna be having. Here we are in front of what was formerly known as The Walking Dead. Are we gonna have a Walking Dead maze? In our opinion, Universal really needs it. They're in dire need of a Walking Dead maze right now.
Yeah, and we've heard that they haven't moved anything around, so it would just be like so
it would
easy
make
for
the
them
most
to-
sense.
Yeah, it just makes a lot of sense.
One thing we did notice, and I'm not sure if we haven't just noticed it before, but it looks like they installed a lighting rig right up there facing this building here.
What does that tell you,
Yeah,
babe?
so what does that tell us? Are they going to be having a Walking Dead maze? I don't know. I really hope so. I miss the Walking Dead.
I miss the Walking Dead. This is actually the first attraction that we would always go on
Yeah.
to whenever we would come to the park.
We would come to Universal, and the first thing we would do is actually hop on the Walking Dead. It was a maze that was open year round. It was so cool. If you're a fan of the show, you know. And we do want to show off our current shirts. We are wearing some Walking Dead merch, the Arch of Universal Studios, and we have our Halloween pins as well. If you guys know us, you guys know by now we collect pins and lanyards. I'm so excited to see if they're gonna have any merch for 2021 and what it's gonna be. What's gonna be the theme this year? There's like so many unanswered questions that we're literally weeks away. We're weeks away. Universal, how are you guys pulling this off? We also do have to mention, Cristal and I have Platinum Pass. So if you do have a Platinum Pass, you get 1 free entry to a qualifying date for Halloween Horror Nights. Just make sure you look on their website. As long as it's on the website and it says you can use your free pass for Halloween Horror Nights, when Halloween Horror Nights starts, they'll scan your ticket and you're good to go. There's nothing you gotta do. But keep in mind, as a Platinum Pass holder, we have Express for all the rides, but we do not get Express for the mazes for Halloween Horror Nights. That's a completely separate. And if you have any other annual pass, you do get a discount as well. So check the website. All you got to do is enter your annual pass number, and you can get a discount for any friends and family for Halloween Horror Nights. Here we are in front of Waterworld. As you guys know by now, behind these walls is a Halloween Horror Nights maze, one of the Halloween movie mazes. The crazy thing is that this maze, this facade, has actually changed over time. When we first saw it about a month or 2 ago, it was actually a Halloween 3 style maze. So the facade was recognizable in the Halloween 3 movie, but now it looks like it's actually Halloween 4. So that's gonna do it for the Halloween Horror Nights updates and all the ghost stories. Just so you guys know, there's more ghost stories up here at City Walk and the upper lot that we didn't get a chance to cover.
Yeah, let us know down below, you guys, if you guys want to hear the rest of the spooky story.
Give this video a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments. Now that you know Universal might actually be haunted, have you experienced anything weird? Have you seen a ghost?
I know. I'm curious to know.
Are you gonna be on the lookout? Yeah, are you guys gonna be on the lookout for a ghost? Let us know. We told you guys, Universal won't be the same after this video. The good thing is that spooky season is here, unofficially for us, because we love Halloween season and we're so excited. Should we do a part 2? Because there's a lot of stories that we weren't able to cover, that we weren't able to get to, and we might actually just be able to do it at Halloween Horror Nights. That would be so exciting.
Oh my god, that would be awesome.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Consider subscribing because we're only getting started.
Should we let them in on a secret, babe?
I think we should. We're having a giveaway, another giveaway, not just a regular giveaway. We've been having giveaways, but we're having a very special Halloween giveaway. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, subscribe if you guys want to stay tuned. I think that's a wrap for this one, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Love you guys.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.